My name is Miss Nicole.
My name is Miss Amanda.
We will be your teachers today.
Welcome to our classroom. Today, we will be reading Curious George by H.A. Ray.
The author of this story is H.A. Ray. We have changed the story today for our lessons for grade 1 through 6.
Today, we will learn words about school subjects, the city and countryside, and animals.
Your homework today will be about school subjects. Let's look at a picture of the book. What do you see?
I see a little monkey who's playing with his ball.
Good job. In this story, Curious George sees a school in the countryside. Let's learn the school subjects. Are you ready?
Okay.
Math.
In math, we learn to add and subtract.
Science.
In science, we learn about animals.
History.
In history, we learn about the kings and queens of long ago.
English.
In English, we learn our ABCs.
Ooh, I know a song about ABCs. It is based on this book, Chicka Chicka Boom.
Oh, I love this book.
Are you ready?
I'm ready to sing.
A told B and B told C, I'll meet you at the top of the coconut tree.
Wee!
Said D to E, F, G, I'll beat you to the top of the coconut tree. Chicka chicka boom boom, will there be enough room? Here comes H up the coconut tree, and I and J, and tag along K, all on their way up the coconut tree. Chicka chicka boom boom, will there be enough room? Look who's coming, L-M-N-O-P, and Q-R-S, and T-U-V. Still more W and X-Y-Z, the whole alphabet up the... Oh no! Chicka chicka! Boom, boom! All the letters fall down! In this story, Curious George sees a farm with farm animals in the countryside. Let's learn these words. Horse.
The horse is in the restaurant. Restaurant.
Cow.
The cow is at the farm.
Chicken.
The chicken is in the road.
Duck.
The duck sees tall buildings.
Good job. Sheep.
The sheep is in the school.
Donkey.
The donkey is in the street.
Pig.
The pig is at the museum.
Good job. We learned the city and countryside words at the same time. Restaurant, school, museum, farm, street, road, and building. What do you know about this story?
In this story, George goes to the city. He visits a restaurant and a museum. There are a lot of cars in the city and many people.
He also visits the countryside. He sees many animals on the farm. Curious George is a curious monkey. He's always getting into trouble, but he's a very good monkey too. Are you ready to read?
Yes, let's read. Let's read Curious George.
This is George. He is a good little monkey, but he is always curious. That is why his name is Curious George. I have to go out now, said his friend, the man with the yellow hat.
Be a good little monkey until I come back. Have fun and play with your new ball, but don't be too curious. It was a lot of fun for George to play with his new big ball. The ball went up and George went up. The ball went down and George went down. But where did the ball go? George ran after it.
The ball had gone in another room. There was a big window in the room. He looked out the window and saw Bill's kite in the tree.
The tree was too high for Bill to get the kite down. No tree was too high for George. He quickly went to the top. George looked at the kite, then he took the string in his hand. George was curious.
The wind took the kite up fast, and George went up with it. It was fun to fly around about in the sky. He could see a bright blue truck on the countryside road.
The truck drove past the school where the children learned math, science, English, and history. Meow.
He could see the farm. The farmer wanted milk from the cow, and the farmer's wife wanted the chicken's eggs.
The wind took the kite up higher and higher, and George went up with it. When the wind slowed, George began to come down.
Their daughter Sally was feeding the ducks in the lake.
Down and down he went until he plopped right into the lake.
Splash! Now George was all wet. When he got out, he saw his friend with the yellow hat. The man was happy that George was not hurt. George was happy too.
Let's go, George. I am taking you to the big city. I think you will like it there.
George was careful to be a good monkey until the long trip was over.
George saw tall buildings in the city. He saw people walking by the tall buildings. They saw a pretty bakery with many sweet treats. There were more cars than George had ever seen before.
That is a lot of cars.
So many cars.
Now they were in front of the museum. George had never been to a museum before. He was curious. When the man with the yellow hat wasn't looking, he walked up the steps and into a room full of all sorts of animals.
He wanted to eat the nuts, so he climbed up the dinosaur's neck. He started to pull, but the nuts would not come off the tree. George did not know that they were not real. He pulled harder and harder. The tree began to sway.
Oh, no.
And then crash! Down came the tree on the dinosaur's head. Down came the dinosaur, and down came George.
Oh.
Now, George was very scared, and he wanted to get out. He saw a window. And as quick as lightning, he climbed out.
George was happy to be free, but he was still hungry. He saw a restaurant. The kitchen door was open, and George walked in. And he saw on the table a big pot. Of course, George was curious. He had to find out what was in it. When the cook came back, he had a big surprise.
Spaghetti was all over the place, and in the middle of it was a little monkey. George had been eating so much spaghetti that he wound himself up all in it. The cook was a kind man, and he did not yell much, but George had to clean up the kitchen and do all of the dishes. Oh my, were there a lot of them.
A lot of dishes.
The cook was watching George. "You are lucky to have 4 hands," he said. "You can do things twice as quickly." The cook told the little monkey, "Now run along and play, but don't be too curious."
George promised to be good, but it is easy for little monkeys to forget. George went outside and saw a balloon man. He was curious again. He felt he must have a bright red balloon.
He reached over and he tried to take it, but instead of one balloon, he took the whole bunch. Suddenly, in an instant, the strong wind sent the balloons floating higher and higher and higher up into the air. When the balloons went up, George went up with them. He was holding on tightly. It was fun to fly about in the sky.
But when George looked down, the fun was gone. He was up so high that all the tall buildings looked very small. The restaurant and the museum were small too. George did not like it one bit. He wanted to get down, but how? Not even a monkey can jump from the sky. George was scared.
When the wind slowed, George began to come down. Finally, the wind stopped blowing at all. Down and down he went until, bump! He was on top of a traffic light.
Everyone was surprised, and the traffic got all mixed up. George didn't know what to do. Then he heard someone call, "George!" He looked down and saw his friend, the man with the big yellow hat.
George was very happy and the man was happy too. George slid down and the man with the big yellow hat put him under his arm. Then he paid the balloon man for all the balloons, and then George and the man climbed into the car.
Oh my gosh.
And they went home. The end.
I love that story. Yeah. Let's sing a song to review the animals. In this song, the animals are hiding, and we have to sing the Boom Chicka song to find them. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Now I'm ready. I said a boom chicka boom. I said a boom chicka boom. I said a boom chicka rocka chicka boom. Oh yeah, it's a chicken. One more time. I said a boom chicka boom. I said a boom chicka boom. I said a boom chicka rocka chicka boom. Oh yeah. What is it? It's a cow.
Cow.
One more time. I said a boom chicka boom. I said a boom chicka boom. I said a boom chicka rocka chicka boom. Oh yeah. It's a donkey. I said a boom chicka boom. I said a boom chicka boom. I said a boom chicka rocka chicka boom. Oh yeah, it's a pig. I said a boom chicka boom. I said a boom chicka boom.
I said a boom, chicka rocka, chicka boom. Oh yeah, it's a sheep. I said a boom, chicka boom. I said a boom, chicka boom. I said a boom, chicka rocka, chicka boom. Oh yeah, it's a duck. One more time. I said a boom, chicka boom. I said a boom, chicka boom. I said a boom, chicka rocka, chicka boom. Oh yeah, it's a horse. Good job.
That was so much fun.
That is
Boom.
fun.
Your homework today will be to draw the coconut tree and write the letters. Also write the subjects.
Good. The fun activity for grades 1 through 3 is to draw a farm. Draw the farm animals and write the words. For grades 4 through 6, draw a city. You can draw Curious George in the city and then write the city and countryside words. Thank you for learning with us today.
Please send your homework to englishbookeducation.co.uk/homework. We really enjoy seeing the work that you do, and we can't wait to see what you do this week.
Thank you for learning with us.
We will see you next Friday.
Bye.